Hi guys, welcome back to Life with Hatley. Today's video is going to be about how we manage our time as a blended family.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I have a son, Diego, who is about to turn 7, obviously from a previous situation. So, time is very, very important within our relationship and making sure that we do have enough time for each other, spend enough time with Diego as well, because, there is obviously a stigma about fathers that are kind of separated from their child's mother in that they maybe see their child maybe once every 2 weeks or on the weekends or whatever. But I made a conscious effort, and it was very important to me that I saw my son as often as possible. So yeah, we have him half the week, so that includes the weekdays and obviously the weekends, which are split in terms of, like, for example, Friday, Saturday, he'll be with us, and then the following week he'll be with us on the Sunday, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so in terms of planning and actually having time for each other, it is like one of the most important things for our relationship.
I want to quickly touch on the stigma that you mentioned because I think it's so important. Like, as a woman who is with someone that has a child, I used to get a lot of people, when I kind of went to start saying, like, I'm with someone that's got a child, a lot of comments would be like, oh, that must be all right, like, he probably has him every other weekend. And I used to kind of be really shocked because I used to be like, no, like, he has him literally half the week. So people also didn't really understand how difficult it is to manage time because they just assumed that the father is pretty much like not around, and that was never the case from the start, like all the way until now. And we've been together for 3 and a bit years now.
So from day one, it was quite difficult for us to have enough time to spend with each other, especially in the like getting to know each other stage, where you at that time it's about obviously getting to know each other and spending as much time as possible together. And obviously with me having a child, it kind of limited that time. So we obviously had to be creative and try and see each other as much as possible. It might have even been a Sunday night once I've dropped him home to his mum's and we quickly go to Creams or something like that.
Yeah.
We had to make sure that we got that time in.
Like, I had to be really open to being spontaneous, and I had to, at one point it did feel like my time was revolving around Ashley's time, which is something that I had to accept as someone who is going to be with a man that has a child. So it was difficult in the sense of at times we wouldn't really know when we're going to see each other. It might be a Tuesday and he's now told me that Saturday he's going to be free or Sunday he's going to be free. So I had to be really open to kind of allowing him to almost let me know last minute. But it did become difficult. So one of the things that we moved on to was I suggested to Ashley, like, can you guys arrange like a 4-week rota? So, at the start of each month, can you just, let each other know what days you're going to have Diego, how the plan is going to be, and then send that to me so that, I can also then plan ahead, book in, dates with my friends or, extra work that I'm going to do. And that kind of helped for a while before
100%.
we moved in.
Yeah. And I think in terms of, because it's not just about the time we spend together and the time spent with Diego, we've obviously got work commitments, we do other stuff outside of work, always trying to elevate ourselves, and also just having our own time as well, and our other interests and hobbies. Like, for example, most people know that I'm a massive Arsenal fan, so that's a massive part of my life as well. And yeah, if you follow Arsenal, if I should be on. But yeah, it's so important to balance all of these things and have them all fulfilling you in the way that you need to, because especially for your mental health, it's really important to be able to do that.
And I think for me, especially, like, friends would ask me out, or, I'd get work requests come in, and I adamantly did not want to book anything on to days that I was going to see Ashley, because otherwise he'd be with Diego and I wouldn't be able to see him that whole week. So I had to kind of explain to Ashley that, as much as it might not seem like a big deal for you in that moment because you've got other things to sort out, I want to make sure that I'm free when you're free. Otherwise, this relationship ain't gonna work because we're not gonna see each other. So that's why the 4-week rota really helped, because then when I got asked, from a friend, do you want to meet up? I can then say, look, I can do this weekend, but I can't do that weekend, because I was very, I prioritised time with Ashley because I wanted to obviously see him, and that was what was going to help us develop our relationship.
And that's also within our love languages in terms of quality time. So it's something that we had to prioritise and make sure we got right.
And then recently, I believe the start of this year, I suggested that we because when we started living together, to give you some context, naturally you now start seeing each other every day, and it's a different kind of seeing each other because you're cooking and you're cleaning and you're just chilling and you're watching TV, and a lot of the time is just kind of doing everyday things. It's not necessarily quality time. So for me, it was important that we didn't slip into kind of that couple who moves in together, has a child half the week, and ends up becoming, boring, or becomes kind of neglecting that developmental side of the relationship. So
sorry to stop you there. I think even if you're not a blended family and maybe you full time have your child, you're a mum, dad, like it's a traditional family, that is still so important because just coexisting and living in the same space doesn't mean you're spending quality time together. And having a child can obviously impact that heavily as well. So it's not even a case of fobbing your child off. You need that time with your partner. So having the support network around you for someone to maybe have your child here and there while you two spend time together is important.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's so easy to slip into just living, existing and nothing else. And I categorically was like, we're not going to be that couple that slips into this. So I suggested that obviously we have the rotational weekends now, so we know exactly when we're going to have Diego, we know when we're going to be on our own. So I suggested that one of the weekends that we're together, one of the days that we're together, I plan a date, so I plan the whole experience. Then the second day that we're together, Ashley plans the date experience. And then the third time that we're together, we do something spontaneous. So however we feel on that day is what we end up doing, and that's a joint. And then that's within a month. So we literally rotate it. So as soon as the spontaneous one's over, it's back to me again. So it's like a cycle. And I just want to clarify that when we say date experience, it can be a picnic in the park, it can be the movies, it can be, any kind of daytime activity. It could be, a quiz at home, which Ashley did one of the times. He created like a couples quiz, which was really romantic. It got us like really close to each other. We bonded over it. Like, it was just one of my best like top 10 dates, to this day. So it could be really simple in terms of like, it doesn't have to be expensive, it doesn't have to be fancy, but it just needs to be intentional, it needs to be planned. And it's just exciting. Like, when it's my turn to do the plan, I'm like, right, so I've become a lot more observant. So I'm like, where does he want to go? What did he mention that he wants to do? What foods did he say he wants to try? And I kind of end up creating a date plan according to what Ashley likes, what we enjoy doing together.
And vice versa. And it might even be things we've discussed in the past that we said we want to do, but we just haven't got round to doing it. But what I do is I make a little list on my phone of these discussions that we've had, and eventually, now that we've got obviously our intentional dates, we can use that to plan these things. And it's exciting because we're almost in competition with each other, and it's a healthy competition, but we're in competition to have the best date, or just make sure your other half is having a great time.
But it's not forced. Like, it's not, we're not dreading it. It's not a chore. It's just an opportunity for us to impress each other. And I think it's so important. Like, they always talk about the honeymoon phase, where you're trying to impress your partner at the early stages, and how you go out of your way to plan these nice romantic dates. And then once you get into 3 years, or you're engaged, or you're married, or you've got kids, that just goes out the window. And I just don't think that that's how it should be. If you're together, you're creating a partnership, you should continue to try and connect with each other and develop your relationship. And it also creates more space for affection. Like if your love language is, physical touch, for example, when you're having a romantic day, when it's just you two and it's intentional and someone's gonna have their way to plan something for you, big or small, it makes you in that mood to be more affectionate and more loving and more caring.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
if you're kind of wondering if that's missing in your relationship at the moment, check your quality time. Are you actually having enough time with each other? Because they're very linked, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that method that we've used for ourselves, we've also taken to the time we spent with Diego. So, like I said before, it might be a Friday and Saturday that we're together, and then a Sunday we're with Diego, or vice versa. But with that time spent with Diego, we're also doing planning our time with him. And that was very, very important to me, because I felt like at times I was falling into just again, going back into what we was talking about before in terms of just living and just existing and just being there, rather than actually going out and planning something. I think that there's such an importance behind planning and intention, and it made me feel like I'm doing a better job as a father for planning my time with him as well. So that was really important.
Yeah, definitely. I think since we've been doing that, it's been a lot easier. And with the spontaneous dates as well, it's so nice to allow space within the month to just be free in that moment as well. It's not, continuously go, go, go. It's not, we're always out, we're always doing things. We try and change the experiences so that, if we're tired that weekend and it's the time to be spontaneous, we can be in bed all day, we can binge watch Netflix, or just go for a walk and, go to the park or whatever it might be. So having that kind of, you, me, spontaneous cycle, I think has been really healthy.
Yeah, no, definitely. And yeah, I just think, like I said before, the main takeaway I would say for anyone that's watching is intention. Because having a relationship with intention will make you feel a whole lot better, because if you can see the importance and you're making your other half feel like you actually want to do something.
Yeah, you actually care.
And you actually
care. And I think it's important to point out as well, there's a lot of pressure, I think, on men specifically to, be romantic and plan dates and spend money on their partner or whatever it might be. But I do believe that it should be equal. If you're in a serious relationship, you're living together, you're looking after a child together, at the end of the day, men also deserve to be surprised and to have a plan, for them. And, I always love making itineraries for you on your birthdays or whatever it might be. Actually going all out and making your partner feel special is equal to both partners. It shouldn't just be one-sided, because I do feel like there is sometimes pressure, and you have to constantly think about what to do. But to be able to just sit back and your partner be like, right, you need to wear, casual, smart casual, or you're going to wear something sporty that day. It's nice to kind of not know what's going on and just know that your partner's really got to have their way to do something for you.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that method really works for us, and obviously that's something you've come up with, and I thought obviously that's really stuck with us. So yeah, obviously in the future I'm sure we'll have other ideas and stuff that we'll put forward to improve the relationship and our time spent together. But yeah, let us know your thoughts and your comments.
Yeah, give it a go.
And yeah, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Ask us any questions as well. Like we said in the previous videos, we're going to have a Q&A session. So yeah, we look forward to your comments, and yeah, give it a go.